Break it. TVC News, first with breaking news.
Hello and welcome to TVC News at 4. The Federal High Court in Abuja has remanded former Governor of Kogi State, Yahaya Bello, in the custody of the EFCC. The former governor had pleaded not guilty to a 16-count charge of money laundering filed against him by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. Mr. Bello was arraigned earlier today alongside two others before Justice Marian Anene of the FCT High Court in Maitama. The EFCC had moved for trial to commence immediately and is ready to call its first witness. Counsel to Mr. Bello argued that they were served with a charge at 11 p.m. on the 26th of November, and he will need time to prepare his client. The bail application dated 22nd of November, predicated on 6 grounds, has been filed. Mr. Bello, through his counsel, submitted that his presence in court is in obedience to the summons issued to him. Counsel to the EFCC held that it is only after arraignment that the bail application can arise and be heard, adding that the application is premature, hasty, and contradicts the meaning of bail. Recall that the former governor walked into the commission's office on Tuesday in company of his lawyers. He was arrested and subsequently detained. Let's now bring in our senior reporter, Celestine Area, who joins me from Abuja studios for more details on this report. Celestina, walk us through the court sitting, Yahaya Bello pleading not guilty, and his eventual remand.
Okay, today it was more or less an unusual sitting for today at the FCT High Court, because usually we have just the lawyers and we journalists and some officers of the EFCC in court. But today, because the defendant was present, the court was full to its capacity, and also security at the FCT High Court was also beefed up. The roads leading to the FCT High Court would find operatives of the DSS there manning those roads, and also supporters of Yahaya Bello were in court. Although there are 3 defendants, but most of the supporters were particular about the former governor. And because of that, Justice Anene had come into the courtroom to commence the day's proceedings. Because the court was a bit rowdy, she rose and went back to her chambers and said that until the court is put in a very orderly manner, she was not going to sit. And we must commend the former governor, because he stood up and asked his supporters that they should leave the courtroom, pleaded with them that they should go out so he can take his plea and go back to where he's supposed to be, either his home or the EFCC custody, because as at that time we didn't know if the court was to grant him bail or not. So today's proceedings commenced, and they were arraigned 16-count charge of money laundering to the tune of 110 billion naira. It was a case of criminal breach of trust and dishonest use of state funds to acquire properties in Abuja and in Dubai. And in the process, EFCC said they were ready to go for trial, and they have their witness on standby to be called. But counsel to Yahaya Bello said that they will need time to prepare their client and ask them questions in respect to the charge. So it became a case of they just got the charge yesterday and they hadn't gone through it. They needed to brief their clients and let him tell him what he knows about these allegations leveled against him by the EFCC. But where the counsel to the EFCC caught them was during, it was the bail application filed by Mr. Bello. In his affidavits in support of the application, he said that he got to know about the charge through summons of the court. So there's a bit of contradiction there. And the application for bail was dated 22nd of November, and he was arraigned today. So it seems the bail application predated his arraignment, and that was an issue for argument between both lawyers. And the court heard both sides, and Justice Anene adjourned to December 10th for ruling, and also remanded the defendants in the EFCC custody.
All right. And now the case has been adjourned to the 10th of December. Right.
Yes, most definitely. And also, there the court will rule if Yahaya Bello will be granted bail or will continue to be remanded in whichever facility the court deems necessary or fit for him. And on the issue of his arraignment being in January, which is the charges before him, the charges against him before the Federal High Court. So if he is arraigned and the court rules one way or the other in terms of his bail and he is granted bail, will the EFCC allow him to go and attend his trial so he can be arraigned in January at the Federal High Court, or they will still want to detain him because at that very court there is a warrant of his arrest? So these are questions that we are hoping and waiting that as time unfolds, we'll get our answers to it.
All right, Celestine Area, senior reporter, thank you very much for that update from Abuja. Away from that, Director General of the National Identity Management Commission, Abisoye Koka Odushote, has assured Nigerians that data kept with the commission are